Well, hey there, friends. Welcome. If you're new here, my name's Angela, and I'm the Inquisitive Farmwife. And on our most recent video, we were out foraging elderberries. And I was so excited and so surprised when I went to my secret little elderberry patch that I picked enough elderberries to do a project again today. So, welcome to the channel. Let's get started. Friends, I'm so excited about our elderberry harvest. I have my basket here, and then we've gathered more, a big old bag full of these elderberries. Now these I'm not going to wash. We're just going to stick them in this bag, and we're going to put it in the freezer, and then they'll just fall right off the stem, and we don't have all that work. Typical Angie fashion, changed my mind. Took that oregano, dumped it on the other tray, because the whole reason I even wanted to start the machine is I went out and picked elderberries the other day. I stuck them in the freezer so that, you know, all you have to do is shake them up. I'm just going to kind of massage this for a second. And you can see they're already starting to fall out of the bag. And what I want to do is just kind of rinse these off. And I wasn't going to do it because I thought, oh, well, they're frozen and the herbs are not frozen. However, these little babies are so tiny. Let's see, like tiny, that I know they are going to just defrost when I rinse them off, because I did not rinse them first because I didn't want them to be wet and be in a big clump, because I want these to kind of be individual was the concept. So we'll see if I'm able to achieve my goal. But I need to put these, they actually need to go into a very fine mesh colander because they're so small. I don't want them slipping through any other nooks and crannies. If you haven't seen my other video when I was out picking these, I talked to you about how you can, if you need them fresh for a project like we did earlier, fresh for a project we have done, then you would just use a fork to get these off. But honestly, at this point, I'm just kind of, see, they've mostly all fallen off. There's like one on the whole bundle. So in the very bottom of the bag, once we get there, which I'm just going to kind of, see, they just fall right off. No problem at all. And the little stems and everything mostly stay there. It probably would do better if I just shook them. Okay, folks, it is right here in this moment when I realize what I had done may have been a mistake. I do not like that I'm getting stems. This disappoints me, because everyone says, you know, this is the way to do this, but I kind of think my little fork method's better, because the stems, especially this part of the stems, are actually toxic. So you want to be careful and make sure that you look through this. Honestly, in the future, I will probably just I'll just use the fork method with the fresh ones, and then just put them into the freeze dryer if that's what I want to do with them. I do worry I've got some of the little stems, and that's going to be a pain to pick some of this out, but it's okay. It was a learning lesson, right? So what's your favorite way to deal with elderberries? Do you have wild elderberries where you grow? What do you like to do with your elderberries? Okay. So once I get this cleaned up, rinsed off, We'll put it on the tray. Get it in the freeze dryer. I'm going to tell you, I will never do that again. I have picked and picked and picked. I don't, you probably can't even see that. There are so many stems left behind. Big ones, little ones, leaves, all the stuff. No, it does not separate. And I'm very disappointed. This was a lot of work. I would not encourage any of you to do it like this. Pick them off when they're fresh with the fork, because now I've had to get my hands in here and try to really work this over. And yeah, no, I will never, ever, ever do this again. And I'm hoping once they're freeze dried, I'll have a little more patience to pick through these stems some more. Because I'll stick my hands in there and the little stems will stick to me. And then I'll throw them in the trash. But, oh, no. The old way that I've always done it is so much better. I don't even know that I'll be able to use this even after freeze dried. I'm just...
Okay, at this point I might be getting just a little dramatic.
I went through the work, so I'm going to make it happen. But I mean, I'm just squishing them. They're definitely thawed now, and they're just turning into juice, which I don't know. I definitely don't want to crush them because the seeds inside them are toxic, so that's not my solution. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. Honestly, I'm just going to put the little topper on. We'll see what happens and make our decision later, because I'm just so frustrated now. So frustrated. It was very apparent to me that I have way overfilled the tray. So what I did is I ended up just sticking it in, put the lid on, put one of those on top, stuck it in the freezer until this morning when the storms had passed, and then spread it out evenly over the 4 trays. Yeah, let's not talk about the tiny stems. I'm very angry and upset about this still. Whew. All right. Take 2 with the freeze-dried elderberries. It didn't work at the lower temperature. We're going to try it at regular temperature. I think it was because I had it with the herbs, and the herbs were they were ready, and the elderberries weren't. Storm was blowing in. I put them in the freezer. We're going to try this again. So I'm going to shut the door. I'm going to customize it, and I'm going to reset it and put it up on the 125. We may lose a little bit of the benefits, but I think it'll still be worth it. Putting them at the normal temperature that I would typically do fruits and things at worked out perfectly. Here is what they look like after they were freeze-dried, and I just packaged them in Mylar with the date and information so that I can use them later for something like probably a tincture. Now, before we end this video, you're probably wondering, did I ever end up doing anything with the leftover elderberries that were in that fermented honey? And no, I haven't. It was in the refrigerator. It's just been sitting in there waiting for me to do this super simple project that I'm going to do with you. So what I did is I was going to go out and buy some brandy or vodka or something like that to make tincture with. And then I thought, well, we do have a few bottles of things around the house here that we're really not big drinkers. And so sometimes when we have gatherings, people will leave stuff here that they bring. And, we just have this area where we have all this random stuff. And I came across this, which is a flavored vodka, because I've heard people say when they take a tincture, sometimes it's too rough. That's why they choose like a brandy or something. I mean, come on, we're making cough syrup here, so it's going to have that, bitter taste or whatever. But this is a cucumber mint, and as you can see, it wasn't being used, and so I wiped off the dust, and I thought, this is the one that I can use to make our elderberry tincture with. So let me angle you differently so you can watch me as I do this, because it just takes a minute. Super simple. I'm gonna just use this bottle because, why not? And I have a very, very tiny funnel that'll fit in here. I'm hoping the elderberries are broke down enough that this works. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to spoon it in. We did take a lot of that honey out, but I thought the sweetness of the honey might make this a better tincture. I have an idea, hold on. I'm wondering if maybe a chopstick is gonna work a little bit better, and yes, it is. So all I'm gonna do is take and shove these honey infused elderberries down into this jar of alcohol. And I think you want like a 40 proof or more. I don't know enough about, honestly.
Okay, I did a quick search and there is conflicting answers. Some say 25 to 35% and some say 90%. Use your own judgment.
This is a 30, it says. So maybe it's a 20 proof you need. I don't know. But we're going to continue working with this, and I'm not going to bore you with me, you know, doing this tedious job. If I would have had a funnel with a little bit larger of a mouth, that would have been perfect. But sometimes you just make do with what you have, because it'd be silly to go to the store when, you know, it'll just take me a couple minutes. But I'll shut it off so I won't bore you with it for now. Okay, I know my fingers are going to get stained, and I'm getting a little impatient. I think this is going to be a little bit faster. You know, and you've got to make a mess while you do it, because that's what kitchens are for. So were you wondering if all those elderberries were going to fit in here? I kind of was too. But I want you to see, can you see in that line, how it's already started to change color, and I haven't even stirred it. This is just from plopping them in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this a quick shake. There's still plenty of head space here. I just want to make sure that none of the fruit gets stuck up in here. And I'm going to leave this over where all my other ferments are. I'll probably, just in case, I'll go ahead and burp it just because it's got that honey in it and it might ferment just a little bit. And I'm okay with that if it does. But I truly think that the flavored vodka with the sweetened honey is going to be a great way to get my family started in tinctures. We are going to want to let this tincture set and kind of extract for probably 2 to 3 months before we use it, but leaving it in longer won't hurt. You just got to be careful with the fruit to make sure you're not, you know, growing any sort of mold or anything. But typically when you use alcohol, that isn't a problem. But just kind of keep an eye on it and give it a shake every once in a while. But you know, we just freeze dried all those elderberries. Next time I can take those in the freeze dried form, put them in the liquid of choice, whether it be brandy or whatever, and make my own tincture when I need it in the future. Guys, thanks so much for being here with me on this great adventure. I loved getting to go out into nature and give what God blessed us with and turn it into something that hopefully will ward off sickies, and if we do get some, it'll help us get through. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.